All right, I'll start it off a little weird. Under center with the left-handed quarterback, does he grab the ball any differently from you under center?
I don't know. I don't know the nuances with that. Obviously, we've taken a lot of snaps over the last 4 months. It's been smooth, and it's our goal to continue to keep it that way. So, it's been great.
Adam?
How excited is the team to see finally what Tua can do on the field?
Team is excited, man. It's an exciting week. We got a great opponent coming into town. Big challenge for us as an O-line, and had a great start to the week practicing today, and I got to build off it and keep working tomorrow.
Joe?
Hey, Teddy, I wanted to ask you about Aaron Donald. When you study, what do you notice about how often he lines up over center or the guard or in between the center or the guard? And more importantly than that, what's a good plan to have a chance against this guy?
Well, he lines up just about everywhere on the front. Obviously, the premier player of the NFL on defense, and the plan is we got to have sound fundamentals and technique and give our best effort. And obviously, preparing in the week is a big part of that. And when it comes down to it, when we're out there Sunday afternoon, we're gonna have to perform our best when it counts the most.
Ruthie?
Hey, Ted, have you noticed anything different about Tua this week, just kind of since he's been named the starter? And is there anything about his demeanor or his leadership that's changed?
No, he's been a strong leader since he got in the building, here in July. Obviously, he prepares really hard. He's a great person and a great teammate, and it's going to be a very exciting weekend for us and for Miami Dolphins Nation.
How?
Ted, what has been the talk among the other guys on the line regarding the quarterback change and maybe the need to give the rookie that much time? I'm sure you want to give every quarterback time, but what's been the talk among you guys, and just how do you expect Tua to respond to the pressure of his first NFL start?
Well, it's on us as an O-line, as it is every week, to make the quarterback feel comfortable. And the first start in the NFL is a big milestone and something that we take seriously, and we're gonna obviously, like I said, we got to perform our best when it counts the most and keep the pocket clean and allow him to be successful. But we got to handle our job first.
Cam?
When you face a guy like Aaron Donald, is there something you have to tell the guys around you, maybe some of the rookies, about not letting them the allure of him getting too big, and how do you go about just defending a guy like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's in this league, there's going to be a lot of good players, but he's obviously at the top of his craft. I'd say one thing, we can't, a big mistake would be to lose account of where he is on the field. So every play, we got to know where he is. And, they got a lot of great players there on defense, and it's going to come down to, execution and fundamentals and then who wants it more in the end. So it's going to be a big challenge this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
Take two more, Joe.
Eddie, after it was revealed that Tua was going to become the starter, there were a lot of folks with opinions, some of them on national television. Dan Orlovsky from ESPN, you probably heard that he said his big concern was that his opinion is that the Dolphins' offensive line play has been poor. What are your thoughts on that line of thinking and that opinion?
Well, what hurt me more was Mina Kimes agreeing with him. I'm a big fan of Mina, and that was that kind of dug deep there. But that is what it is. You got you have to. Everyone has their opinion. That's what they're paid to do is give their opinion. But the great thing is we get to go play the game. So all opinions won't matter at that point. It's just what's on the tape.
All right, last one, Hal.
Ted, I'm going to try not to hurt your feelings with this question. I wanted to ask you, technique-wise, how does having a left-handed quarterback affect the line's technique? Are you guys having to kind of flip-flop things, or is it business as usual?
It's business as usual. I mean, a lot of, I'm sure there's some nuanced stuff, that's with Chan and Coach Marshall and, all the offensive staff. But, we've gotten, some good continuity starting, and, we've started to get a little bit of a rhythm as far as an O-line standpoint, and it's business as usual, and we're ramping it up, and we got a 10-game stretch to, see what we're all about here in 2020.
Adam, any big plans for that the first big check to come in?
I'll just put it away probably. Maybe we'll bust it out after the season's over. Still got work to do.
Adam?
Yeah, can you give us a little context about how this came about? Did you ask your agent to sniff around for maybe an extension? Did they approach you? How did it happen?
As far as I knew, like, they approached me, and just really happy with it. And but we're on to Rams week, so that's kind of where our focus has been at still. But obviously very excited about being here for the extended future.
Josh?
Hey, Adam, when it comes to Rams week, how do things change now after you've been with a set quarterback the first 6 games, and you've got Tua there at practice today?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the tight ends, like, it doesn't matter who's back there. Like, our job is to go out and execute what we have to do, blocking and in the pass game, and that's what we're gonna do. So,
Hal?
Adam, congratulations on the contract. Why do you think things have fallen into place and you found a home here as opposed to Chicago?
Just after the trade, just really kept working, kept getting healthier, and just had a great opportunity, and I've tried to make the most of that, and it's worked out so far. So, but still got a lot of work to do, like I said.
Joe?
Yeah, Hal just kind of took my question about the difference between Miami and Chicago. So believe me, I'd rather live in South Florida too. So congratulations on the contract. But we're all writing Tua stories, and I guess neither one of you has been here for a long time. But what have been your observations about his leadership approach and personality, especially since he found out he was the starter?
I think he's kind of tried to approach it every week like he is the starter. So this week, hopefully, is kind of a seamless transition for him. And, he goes out there and shows, what he's got. It'll be great.
Cam?
Mute.
Oh, good. All right. I know Patrick was the lucky one to get the first catch from Tua. Is there any conversation about who gets the first touchdown? Have you guys talked about that?
No, not something we've talked about.
All right, we'll take one more, Adam.
Hey, there you go. I'm curious, how much response have you gotten from friends, family, people at home about the upcoming game? It's kind of a talk of certainly the local media and nationally as well. It's one of the biggest storylines of the week. What kind of interaction have you had with your buddies about Tua time?
A couple of people have reached out, but for the most part, my friends and family know not to reach out too much to me, because I'm not gonna give them much. So that's really all.
Hey, Tua, I was curious, how did you spend the bye week? I know it was time to prepare for the Rams. How exactly did you use that time?
Yeah, I was up here a lot. I spent a lot of my time up here at the facility, just watching some film, but also working out. I would say, I got with some of the guys as well, just so we could work on some timing with certain things, certain routes. And really the only off day I had was Sunday.
Steve?
Tua, it's only human nature to have at least a little about the hip. And so I'm wondering, what do you anticipate that first hit is going to feel like, especially because it's been a long time coming?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but that's just the nature of the game. I don't know what the hit's going to feel like. Every hit is different that you take in football. So I'm really not too sure. And I don't think you could ever prepare for hits. It's just something you got to go out knowing it's going to happen. whether it's the first play of the game, first quarter, or maybe third, second, fourth. You just never know.
Cam?
Hey, Tua, I noticed that you were like on social, you posted a video where you had a sweatshirt that said humble over hype. And it stood out to me because obviously you've had a lot of hype coming into the league. How have you sort of managed everybody talking about you and sort of keeping yourself even killed?
Yeah, well, I think what helps for me is my family. My family's not too big on, the hype and whatnot. It's more so just being a good son for them. And a lot of the times when I do come home, and I talk to my parents on the phone, I mean, they don't really necessarily want to know about how football went. They just want to know how everything is with me as a person, just how my day was and things like that. But I think what also helps me too is the coaches here and my teammates. You get joked on and whatnot, and just the competition you have with the guys at the facility. So I don't think anyone here at this organization can kind of get too caught up in any of the hype. Everyone's just so focused on what they got to do to help the team be successful.
Mike? Depot?
About your relationship with Fitz as a father-son relationship. How's it been this week as far as Fitz supporting you, and you feel he'll support you on the sideline Sunday?
It's the same thing as when Fitz was playing. Nothing really feels any different. Now that I'm in, the only thing that's different is I'm getting the reps now. But with Fitz, after series, and when we have our first team series, second team series, third team series, I come off to the sideline and Fitz always has something that he wants to say to me, whether it has to do with protection, with where he would look at as far as progression reads, and how he would read certain things out that can make it easier for me, hopefully come time Sunday.
Sofin?
So what's your thoughts on facing, a guy like Aaron Donald, a DB like Jalen Ramsey, and players on that defense on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting for our offense and our team. It'll show, what kind of team that, we kind of have, after a bye week and whatnot. But we know what we're going up against. We're going up against one of the top NFL defenses, in the league. And it's not just Jalen Ramsey. It's not just Aaron Donald. You guys got, Leonard Floyd. You guys got Brockers, Young, and then Troy Hill, guys on the back end. So they're very sound defensively. So, we're really trying our best to prepare as well as we can against these guys and their DC and their OC. And I mean, their head coach, they all know what they're doing. So we know this isn't going to be any easier from here on out.
Travis?
Hey, Tua, how's it going? Back in Indianapolis, I had a chance to talk to your former teammate Xavier McKinney about some of the interactions you guys had post-practice and what you saw and what he saw. Come to find out, we heard from Bobby McCain. He said the same thing about you and him this past training camp. I'm curious what those conversations were like and what you're able to glean from Bobby as far as his defensive perspective on your game.
Yeah, I think the best thing for me to do is get into the mind of those DBs, of those safeties. Like what are they thinking, like in a 3-by-1 set, and just things like that. What are some little things that can help me better my game and improve my game, whether it's my eyes or whether it's staring down a guy and then throwing it somewhere else. It's just trying to get a little edge on what to look out for when it's time for a game situation.
Joe?
Tua, hey, at the quarterback position, obviously leadership is arguably the most important, element. What is now that you're the starter, what is your leadership plan?
Well, I think my leadership plan is just to be the same Tua I've always been. I don't got to go out yelling at guys. That's just not the way I lead. I'm I'm just going to be me, how I am on the sideline, how I am off the field. I mean, it's pretty much how I'm going to be on the field. There might be certain instances where, we might get into it a little bit with the receivers or, the linemen. But I mean, everyone's just so competitive here. That's just the nature of how the game goes sometimes.
We'll take 2 more. Josh?
Yeah, to knowing that with Chan and just all the experience he has, both in college and the NFL, how much do you think your relationship with I'm not sure what happened to I was just asking about Chan. How much do you think your guys' relationship will help in your development, just knowing all the reps that he has in the league?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the resume of Chan. He's been in the NFL. He's been in college. He's been a head coach. He's been an OC. This is someone who knows what he's talking about. And he knows what he's talking about when he talks about the defense, and he knows what he's talking about offensively. So for me, it's just a great opportunity to be able to learn under someone like Chan. And I think the really good thing about Chan is, he puts all of us as an offense that he feels like into the best situation possible. So whether it's play calls or, just trying to maneuver guys into areas to put the offense in a good position, I think he does a great job at it.
The last one, Hal?
Hi, Tua. I'd like to ask you about being a left-handed quarterback. It's unbelievably rare in this league now. I'm wondering if you have some thoughts on why it's so rare. And in doing research, I found that there have been some notable left-handed quarterbacks who coaches were so reluctant to coach them that they may have asked them to change positions or what have you. And I know you're a right-hander. I don't know if anyone ever asked you, hey, why don't you just start throwing right-handed? But can you just describe your progression as you came up as a lefty?
Yeah, I do everything right. I eat with my right, swing the bat with my right, golf with my right, do all of that. But anything that has to do with shooting, throwing, it's left. And I think lefties are so rare in football because all of them are in baseball. And so I think that's why it's so rare. It's also probably a lot difficult as probably an OC and probably a little difficult for the receivers as well because the ball spins a different way. But luckily I'm surrounded by professionals that that can adjust pretty quick to the ball. So yeah.
Hey, Isaiah, good to see you. When Ryan Fitzpatrick was starting, you did a really wonderful job explaining in detail what it was that was unique about him. I remember there was some story about how he pointed out something in the stands. He was so relaxed and so comfortable with who he is.
You muted. I'm sorry.
And you kind of take that idea of press Alt-A.
You muted again.
And you kind of take that idea of uniqueness and what you've learned about Tua, whether it's, personality, leadership style, that seems to be unique to who he is.
Yeah. I think he's done a great job at observing the things that Fitz does, whether it's things like that, taking command of the huddle or coming to us outside of the huddle when we're on the side and just talking through things of what we're seeing and kind of getting on the same page. So I think he kind of brings his own charisma or level of comfortness that he has in the huddle where he's coming in and kind of taking command and control of everything. So,
Hal?
Isaiah, we just spoke to Tua, and along the way, he had mentioned how being a left-handed quarterback, the ball comes out and spins in the opposite direction. But he said, luckily, I'm surrounded by professionals who can adjust quickly. So as one of those professionals, what is it like adjusting to that rotation of the ball? And if the ball comes out differently in any other way?
Yeah, I think it's just about seeing it all the way in your hands, and I think that's something that most receivers will go back to, maybe if they have a drop or anything like that, is getting back to the basics, watching the ball all the way to your hands, securing it with your eyes and to the tuck. So I think it'll just be maybe a little more focusing on that. And then once you're out there in the flow of the game and everything, that all takes care of itself.
Cam?
Isaiah, what's up, man? I know you've been here long enough that you've kind of seen a handful of starting quarterbacks here and going through them. I wanted to see maybe how Tua's preparation towards game week or with you guys is maybe different than other guys you've played with, or maybe how it's the same.
I think he's done a great job at coming in, and just, I would say, watching from what Ryan did, when it came to being prepared and preparing early in the week and things like that. And I think that that having that ability to watch him, he's kind of picked up the same things. So whether it's early in the week, he's watching early downs or third downs or red area, whatever it is, just kind of staying ahead in his preparation and then getting to practice and kind of knowing everything and being comfortable with what the plan that we have put in for.
Safin?
Hey, Isaiah, I'm stealing this question from somebody else. Any plans? I know Patrick Laird caught the first pass. He put his gloves up on Instagram, trying to give it away and stuff. Anything with the players about Tua's first touchdown? Who's going to get that? Who's going to keep the ball? Give me some details here.
No, we got nothing. Hopefully I can get one and then I'll keep the ball from him. No, I'd give him the ball if it was me, but no, we have no plans.